Good evening. Welcome back to Stationeers. I'm going to go back to Venus here and attempt to make an auto-navigating rocket. We're at least trying to learn about the avionics kits stack. I don't really want to call them instructions because it's kind of the opposite of instructions. But we're going to spend some time breaking that down, and hopefully my network stabilizes because it is being retarded at the moment. I'm up to 11% loss. But I have a feeling that's Twitch, not my network, but whatever. All right. Cognition critical. So let's see.
Cognition low.
Tuver with got let's see. A lot more. Wrong button. A lot of stuff before the stream, but my radiators have 100 liters of salt. My final Silenol loop is getting waste heat to 488 when it's under serious load. Then getting the data from the stack is half the battle. Yep, absolutely. I forget how much I have salt. This is what I put 3 stacks of salt in, so I forget what that ends up being. Oh yes, so avionics. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because there's not really any actual instructions to give it other than jump to address. That's literally like the only writing opcode because that's 0 to 53, stack pointer. Then these are all reads. So I don't know if that's there was more stuff or they plan on more stuff, but it'll be interesting. So I might have to break these down. Ooh, okay. Unsigned short, bytes, unsigned short. Oh, this ought to be pretty easy. There's no signing to deal with. So that's great. That is great. Let's see, I forgot how many stacks. It was much harder. What is as much as the trader had? Yeah, that's... hey, there's the harm suit. Which would be... why that's... Oh. Hang on. Oh. Well, that's a problem I got to deal with. I ran out of methane. Let's deal with that real quick. That's an easy fix. I'll cool off the base. By, let's see, alcohol. And we want to, let's say pull it down to 10. Let's go to 35. 35. There we go. Pull this down to 35 kPa, which will bring the temperature down. I have a lot of alcohol, so this is not a problem. Gives me a little cooling. That will work. And surprised that these guys aren't cranking out more. I guess there's a lot of input into the system. Okay, so that'll get me some methane. So did you notice the harm suit helmet has more volume than other helmets? Nope, never noticed. Haven't done on the math. Is it more methane boiling alcohol, or is it better to make biomass to methane? It's probably better to go straight to Actually, that's a good question. So one biomass makes close to 9? Jerome. Or is it 8? Ah, there. 10 mole of liquid alcohol. Or 8 mole of methane. Now, is this 1 mole to 1 mole? I don't know how it breaks down. Okay, interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at that avionics, because I gotta wait for refuel anyway, so that's fine. So there's resource site, there's survey site, then there's child resource site and child survey site. So they'll all be in the same address, but we'll be reading the opcode to tell us what it is. Can't use that sheet of paper. Alright, Cap, make sure... Move your tail so I can back up and not run over your tail. Because I don't want to deal with you. I could leave this up, but I'm not going to. Well, maybe while I'm programming, but just for my... So we have resource site, and that is opcode 3. Then we have survey site, opcode 4. A child resource site, it's opcode 5. And child survey site, opcode 6. That one's easy. So all of them, 0 through 7, the first 8 bits are the opcode. So that's super easy. And then... Oop, let's not go to... Resource type, resource type, resource type, resource type. So 8 through 15 is resource type on all. What's that mean? That's a good question. Now let's start here. Resource site. We have 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. Of course, this is also 8 bits, and this is also 8 bits. No problem. 16 to 23. 24 to 31. Even though I know this all in my head, I'm just going to jot it down anyway. We're going to have density. Can't spell it, but that's alright. Richness. And size. And I know exactly what this is. So this is ratio multiplied by 10. So theoretically, the maximum would be 25.5% or times or whatever. What does it return for things like density if you haven't scanned for it? That's exactly what we're going to find out today. Of course, that's... I'm trying to figure out... Okay, so resource site. My assumption with resource site, not the child, is this right here is resource site. And I'm assuming... Now here's the question. It's probably going to show this. Resource site, resource site. Alright? I don't know. It's a good question. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see, because I'm assuming these would be the child resource, or these, sorry. These would be the child survey sites. This would probably be the survey. Oh, that's a question. What's a resource? What's a survey site? Fairly certain that these would be survey sites. Maybe this would be a resource? Child resource? I don't know. Maybe one's gas, maybe one's solids. Gonna find that out. Okay, survey site. 16 to 31. So that's 16. You 16. You went 16. Survey progress. Inquiring minds would like to know about the inquiring minds. Yeah, absolutely. And then child resource site is going to match exactly resource site. And child survey site matches survey site. Exactly. Okay. Alright, well that makes it simple. Match survey. Okay, so that means I only have to write 2 handlers, so that's cool. Although, yeah. 2 handlers, but one would be something else. Good question. Alright, so if I were so in this case, I would need to know density. And then we're going to have richness. And basically, I'm just going to pull the raw data in. And size. Okay, let's try that again. Size. And then that's where the cable is. I put another one down. Will be survey progress. And that is it's a good question. That's 16 bits. How's that broken down? Oh, display. Percent power, Kelvin, credits. Credits? Cool. Seconds, minutes, days, string, Fahrenheit. Okay. Little old me. I'm a little irritated. How about like hexadecimal or something like that? I guess I'm going to have to just deal with decimal display. I don't like decimal display, especially when we're dealing with stuff like this. Where are the consoles? Consoles. That would actually be blocked by the cable, I think. Large. Yeah. Medium might be fine. Medium might be fine. Of course, this is... You know what? Let me take that back. That's actually not going to be fine. So I don't really want to write a second piece of code. I'll grab this and go with the medium display like this. Wrap the cable down. I don't actually know how that's... Yeah, I goofed that up. Oh well. It's hidden in the crack. Not going to be able to tell unless you shove your... Can't even tell then. Alright, we're trying to pressurize. It's going slow though. So this is going to be survey progress. Turn you on. I don't think I can throw a sign in there. but we'll try it anyway. Thank you, dear. That will, blocked by the heavy cable. Yeah, that's what I thought. Whatever. We'll... Survey progress. There we go. Density, richness, size, survey progress. So that's what we need. Okay. This is the automatic scanning chip. Right. I see mine. Oh, that's the auto survey. So this, I could actually pull this up. Yeah, all right. Let's go ahead and import the code, even though we don't need it. But I just want to do that. Set batch H display on 1. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Setting 0. Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Okay. So we can load this. This actually is not a problem, quite frankly. I can dig it. I can dig it. D0. It's avionics. Okay, yeah. Super. Super. Alright, let's fire it up. We're going to get into crazy stuff now. So alias ISP R0. Okay, so in this case, we're going to move ISP to 54. I don't actually have that written down. I should. 54 to 62. 54 to 62. E-I-E-I-O. Okay, read stack. That's the instruction here. Branch less than. So where ISP is less than 63, we're going to branch back to read stack. That's what we're going to do here. Okay, so we're going to get from, or into R15, from D0, address is going to be ISP. So, at this point, R15 is the value out of the stack. Good. Let's go ahead and do an extract. This is new instructions, so why not use them? Into R14. Okay, we want extracts a bet field from A. So we're going to extract from A, which is R15, so our total value, beginning at B for C length. And place, so I'm going to 0, oops, bit 0, go for 8 bits. This should be our opcode. Okay, so now branch set batch by name H display hash is going to be ISP, setting our ISP there. Do that before I forget. Branch equal, if R14 equals 03, resource site. branch equal R5. It's also resource site. But I don't, child resource site. Right? Don't know how I want to do this. Actually, let's set match h display hash opcode OPCODE. Okay. We'll do that, and then we can just go ahead and this will be fine. Okay. Branch. Oh, I need to do an AL because I need to bring it back. R14, if it's equal to 04, which this is just readability, that doesn't have to be like that. But since we're pulling 8 bits, might as well use a 2-bit hex. Survey site. Okay. R14. This will be 6. This will be child survey site. Child E? I'll put that word in there over here too, child. Okay. Otherwise, the opcode, we don't really give a darn. So you typed hash 0 or $03 and $05, but said R03 and R05. Yeah, I'm a little dyslexic. Yep, $sign is making it hash hex. I believe. I think percent. I think percent makes it bitwise. Wrong place to look for that, actually. Yeah, so $sign makes it hex. Percent sign makes it binary. I just wish you could take a decimal and convert it to hex for like a display, because that would make it so much nicer. Yes, exactly. 0x for hash or 0b for binary. Yeah, I'm used to that too. So this is kind of a change. Let's see. Add ISP. This ISP plus 1. I wish there was an increment command instruction, just so I didn't have to do this, but... Okay, so this loop... I'm going to put a big... I'm going to put a big sleep timer... Well, I'll put a small sleep timer in to begin. Here. The idea being that I'll actually be able to read everything as it goes. I will introduce a larger sleep once I get this code worked out. So what we're going to do here is resource site. The first thing we're going to do is jump back to RA. Down here, survey site is going to be much of the same. I'm not going to bother with a yield because I'm going to put a sleep in there. Said R when I used $site. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Sometimes the brain and the mouth aren't connected properly. Okay, so let's see. Resource type. Oh, actually, that's universal. Oh, I just realized. Okay. Extract R13 is going to be from R15. We're going to start at 8 and pull 8 bits. 8. Oh, wait a minute. Is that 8? Hang on. Let me double check that. Resource type is a byte. Resource type is a byte, byte. Okay, 8 bits. Yep, it is indeed 8 bits. So that means there can be only 256 types of resources there. So good to know. So this is going to be resource type. So we'll have to map that. Yeah, I can pull station PA while I'm, I can leave it there. Oh, and actually, I think there's Control Shift Alt, Control Shift, Control Alt. There was something, some key combination that I saw Balin figure out. Somebody told him. It's like various modifiers and Alt or Shift Enter buttons that actually pull up what you're looking for. Oh, you know what? Just for funsies. Just for funsies. Just for funsies. No, okay. Is there a resource type? Now, obviously, resource type didn't exist here, but I want to take a look. I like using words wherever I can, just so the documentation is kind of self-documenting. But greater hash gas liquid. Hash type gas liquid. Oh. Logic type, logic type, logic type, logic slot, logic slot. Type, pressure, logic type. Okay, logic type is a very extensive category. What the heck? I just saw something there. Logic type stress? Nah, pipe sensor, pipe analyzer. Not variable. Dang it. Squirrel! Can you actually read the stress? Maybe that's on a like a deep miner for combustion centrifuge, and probably a combustion deep miner too. Yeah, I figured you looked at it, and I just happened to see that. Yeah, okay, so you can read it off of the combustion equipment. Okay. Yeah, that had me for a minute there. So let's get rid of that and go back down. Slot, logic type, logic type, logic type. Okay, well, we've seen the node type.
Hunger, caution.
Power mode, printer instruction. Re-entry profile, that's kind of cool. Robot mode, that's probably Amy. Rocket mode, seen that. Setting display. Shuttle type. Okay. Shuttle type, that, okay, alright. That might be handy. Semi-related. Slot class, that's... Okay, that's a lot of stuff here. Sorter instructions, sorting class. I wonder if it's going to end up being like a sorting class. Shuttle type for trader. Yeah, I believe that's exactly what that is. That's what piqued my interest. And eventually I do want to do an auto trader to the best of my ability. Sound. Trader instruction filter. Oh yeah. So you can have it filter the traders based on something, like if you're looking for something specifically, I think you can have it return a trader that has that. Possibly? Maybe? Not that. Okay, now we're into... Yeah. Okay, so I don't think we're going to see anything here. Because this is actually logic types. Color. I mean, that's cool. Oh, oh hang on. Maybe. Contact type. Index in which the trader is spawned. This defines the class of the trader. Utility, small, medium, etc. Okay, that's cool. Oh, yeah, okay. Current code. Current node type. Derivative gain. Oh, interesting. You can actually read the D term off of a PID chip. Cool. Let's see. Shuttle type for trader is on my list, even if I just want to find the trader that sells what I want, like the Dargaferns. Yeah, that would be perfect. Like, have it look for a trader that has that and zone in on it, and then call them down. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, I'm looking for this. Find it for me and bring them down. Set the index dispense back to, okay. Interesting. Distance AU, that... Nah, I don't think that applies with our stuff here, but... Flight control rule. I wonder if you can just write the flight control rule and have it change. So instead of doing like a suicide burn, have it, just set the mode to, like, 2. I don't know. Or if that is their up, high, low... No, first, right. Oh. Cool. Gets the cost of fuel to return the rocket to your current world? That sounds kind of interesting. That would be helpful for an auto return. See, but honestly, with my Venus, I am trying to set up a modular console that can be manually control all the dishes, which will be rendered moot once I code the auto trade. But I like having the manual ability for well. Yeah. Find it for me, bring it down, and tell my suit that they're being called down. Absolutely. Yep. This looks promising for something. Not exactly what I'm doing here, but... Ooh, inclination. You could actually read the inclination? Must be off like the celestial tracker or something. That actually, I wonder if that would help with the... No, probably not. Minables and Q. Oh, that's Amy. That's Amy. I've seen that. Our question is, how exactly does it do that math? As depending on the rocket, it can use different amounts. Pressure fed can change quite a bit. Yes, absolutely. That makes you wonder. Oh, network fault. Attached network has experienced a fault, such as a pipe burst or other failure. Huh. Where? There's a lot of stuff in here. Power, actual power generation, power, potential power, pressure, fences, you prediction, pressure, progress. Yeah, we know progress. Quantity, ratio. Came here for resource type. Ratio. Horatio. Where art thou, Horatio? Ratio. We're almost there. We almost there. Okay, there we go. Recipes, reagent, re-entry altitude. Reset. Return fuel cost. Get the fuel remaining in your rocket's fuel tank. Okay, cool. Let's see. Gee, who would experience the network failure thing? I don't know. Only a fool that would overpressurize their fuel line to get more power. It might not even be that intentional. Okay, there's a lot here. Signal ID, sites, size. See, stack size, stress, stun damage, survey, stun damage. Cool. That's funny. Target temperature. I feel like I would have missed resource. True anomaly. Okay, velocity, volume, wait, working gas efficiency. Yeah, I definitely would have been. Our resource would be rate after ratio. I would have blown right by it. Okay. Would have been right here. Okay, alright, so can't necessarily read this value, so we'll have to do it ourselves. It's good there are fuel to return and fuel remaining. And we can have it where the system checks and it's close and returns home automatically. Yeah, that makes it very nice. That way you don't have to do too much magic to make that work. Eat up too many lines of code. Is what I'm thinking. So, cool. All right. All right, there's that. I don't think I need to worry about my fries. No. I can make a couple fries. But I should make some, or shove some potatoes in here. And maybe some oil. If they're ready, that's what I'm doing. No, those are not ready. Those are towards seating, so we'll wait a little bit. We did talk about that they added a variant for the battlefield. Oh yeah, that's right. I could flip it over. Or I could just put a drinking fountain there. It would probably be better. I have my emergency water, so if for some reason I run out of water, I have the ability to rectify the problem. Okay, so we're going to have resource type, so we're going to set batch H display to a resource type. Oop, piece of paper stuck to my arm. Okay. Survey progress. I'm going to need to expand my something out. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Okay, so now we have resource type up there. We have the opcode up there. Now we need the individuals. So in this case, and I could divide it. Yeah. Proven the toilet is net positive. Awesome. I figured maybe if you have just basic quality food, possibly it would be net, but I'm assuming with a 4-star food, then you're really working with that. So let's see, extract. In this case, we are doing resource site and child resource site. So we're going to extract into R12, because it doesn't really matter, from R15, which at this point is our full stack. We're going to start at bit 16 and extract 8. This is density 10. Extract R11, R15. Starting at 24, also 8. This is richness 10. Extract R10. Starting at 32 and going 8 bits, and this is size 10. Okay. So divide R12 by 10. Divide R11, it's R11 by 10. Divide R10 by 10. If I did any more of this, I would actually use the relative registers, because I would have to control that, and if I had to do like all 15 registers, I'd do that. Okay, so now we've got our density, our richness, and our size. So now we just... Device hash is going to be our display. Name hash is going to be Density setting is going to be R12. Can I just do this basically, and we will adjust accordingly for our richness. No, what are you doing? That's not, no, oh, size. Okay. So theoretically, that should work for both the resource and child resource. Let's see, I got to keep track of ISP as well. And then here we will extract into R12 from R15. It's going to be starting at 16, and it is 16 bits. And this will be our survey progress. This is unsigned 16. Are you short 16? I don't believe that's a float. We're going to find out. So we got SBN H display hash hashish survey progress. Do I actually have that all one word? That's a good question. Survey progress, all one word. So seems like opcode and resource type should also be one. ISP, opcode, survey type. All right. I think I've got some wraparound there. I can do some more. Let's pull out some more consoles, because I like consoles. I think they stacked to 10. Oh, send me some copper. Copper's on the way. Copper's in the machine, automatically. It's not a float, it's a sink. Yeah, a short float, that's a sink. Okay. I am going to need to top off my heavy cable. I feel like this is where modular consoles would be great. Oh yeah, absolutely. I really hope they add something like that into the base game, because I'm not much of a mod player myself, so that's where I struggle. Because I know oh my goodness, how that can go. Ah, crap, I should grab the signs as well. We're just gonna fill up this old dashboard. Okay, 2x1. Boom, boom, boom. Pull this out. This is not Space Engineers. Stop trying to sync using that. Okay, we got survey progress. Ad coming up in a bit here. So we're going to have opcode. Resource type. And... oh, yeah. ISP. There we go. That seems reasonable to me. Okay, let's go ahead and export and see if this blows up when we put the chip in. Wow, that was fast. Incorrect argument count on line 32. What's line 32? What you talking about, Willis? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that's good. There's... alright. I guess that's a very good sign that the with the stack pointer... oh, 62. That was interesting. So the last one there, 62. Resource type 1, opcode 6. Fascinating. I already got to insert a longer. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. That should get us. So now we have ISP equals 62 with our location equal to home, which I think is 4015. All right, ads coming up. We'll take a short break here. Be right back. Alrighty, welcome back. So, okay, so I put that long delay in there so we can check our stack pointer. So we are sitting on the pad out there. So destination or location code is 4015. Our stack pointer of 62 gives us a child survey site. With a resource type of 1. Child, no, hang on. I take that back. That is not a resource type. Oh yeah, it is a resource type. It'd be survey progress. Survey progress right there. Survey progress. 62 is at 0. Yeah, 610. Okay. Alright. So I'm wondering if that is location info. Like survey points. Okay, that's where we currently are. Okay. I mean, I could probably pull off more methane pretty easily. Or direct conversion or something like that. I just want to launch here soon. And what are we doing here? 42. Not really. Not that much. Not pulling that much pressure off. Yeah, it's 42. Yeah, okay. It's 7 kPa. Whatever. That's a small number. We'll just let it roll. Actually, volatiles. Voltron? No, that's not what we need. Alcohol. That's not how you spell alcohol. I can take it down to... Let's take it down to 10. It is not going to hurt this room if I take it down that far. Will that help at all? I don't know if it really will, because it's just a matter of it evaporating. So I don't think it will, but it'll help me keep it flowing. It's a very small amount at a time. Yeah, I got 214 mole in the tank. Woohoo! You spell it vodka. Pretty close. Start with potato. Patatoi. Okay. So once that's ready to go, we'll be ready to launch and see what we have for different things. So my thought here is we'll launch it into orbit first. And then see what we have for the stack pointer, resource type, all that type. So let's see. ISP, that's what we want here. We're gonna do that. Then opcode. That'll be resource type. It'll either be survey progress, or we're going to have density, richness, size. Okay, write that on my table here. Okay, so we're going to let this run for a little bit. What I want to do is... I don't have this charged with anything. I want to run outside real quick and see our...
Oxygen critical.
See how our salt radiator's doing. We'll do that. I have another storm to watch from the hangar. It's very interesting that it breaks right at the hangar doors. Let's see, over here. Okay, we're cranking. Oh, what's our temperature? 967 degrees. Okay. I'm going to see what oppressive temperatures I get here. And if it immediately tries cooking me, that would be kind of funny. And I am glad you reminded me about the radiators while I am having a storm. Yep. Woo! 960, look at that. Okay. Heating efficiency 14. How are you getting 14% heating efficiency when you're not even being... okay, whatever. Alright, so just on a rough guess, I've got 21 liters across 10 radiators, so that's 210. That's 33 plus another 20. So I'm just going to say 210, 240, to about 260. That sounds okay. That sounds fair. I'm actually surprised my waste tank isn't telling me, get the heck out of here, dum-dum. 961. So it's a slow burn. $30 kilojoules leaving during storm. Very nice. Yeah, I want to turn it around and see what I can get out of. Why can't I read the value on that? There we go. 1. Okay, so I need a stellite, hastaloy, astraloy. Stellite, hastraloy. Ooh, iron. I'm low on iron. Okay, how are we doing here? We're still processing. Hello, computer. Okay, we are 9 backpacks. We are out of backpacks here, so we're going to start running out. 9 back... Oh, that's right. I killed the rover. Or the rover killed me, or something like that. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, we're cooking here. What are we looking at? 469 degrees. Anchor to the atmosphere. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so 50 kilojoules of heat leaving the system. I actually don't know what the heat load really is right now. How are we doing here? Ooh, you're actually getting pretty cold. You're getting really cold. Oh, goodness. I'm going to have to start cooking that up pretty fast here. Okay. So, I actually don't know. I installed the radiators and then we did the rocket scanning. So it looks like I'm gaining approximately 100 centigrade a day with what I got. My 30 kilojoules, just 3 phase change loop, 1 water and 2 Selenol. That's not too bad. I saw something that Balin was doing was daisy chaining these together, and last time I tried doing that, I must have hooked them up wrong. But I was thinking about maybe throwing a couple of these and trying to widen the system. Ooh, I could actually... Ooh, I could move that over, and I could put 3 in here. I just have to get rid of this, so... Okay. Alright. How are we doing on our refueling? We're still trying to pull in volatiles, so... I think I'm trying to take it up to 45 megapascal. Really what I need to do is have a pre-mixed fuel tank far enough away from the launch pad that I can just inject it into the rocket and be good with it. Okay, so... I might take a look and see if I can sneak out a... There we go. Sneak a tank, or not a tank, a battery in there. probably can. Twitch is being twitchy today. Yeah, I apologize. It's been really bad lately. And for quite a while, actually, too, so... I still need to install the pollutant loop, but I've been too lazy to. Yeah, that's a problem I have, too. So, okay.
Storm incoming.
Storm incoming. Okay. That answers... I was thinking about, maybe going out to the outpost, but that's definitely not going to happen at that. Okay, so... back. Just for fun. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. Why is there a back slot? You can... okay, you can put an additional backpack in your harm suit? It's kind of... I don't know what I think about that. Okay, I'm going to pull the coolant tank out, but I'm going to shove my suit in here. My water... oh. 2.48 liters. I'm pretty low. I am pretty low. Let's check. Let us check that I've got something down here. How much water do I have? How are we doing here? Well, temperature's cooling off in here. Oh, this is probably where all that... yeah, there we go. That would make sense. Here is where all... oh my goodness. Why are my frames so far down? That is ridiculously low. Oh. Oh, hang on. Hang on, hang on. I see exactly what's going on. One moment. I put the wrong charger on my laptop. Going to eco mode. That would explain a few things. I was literally draining the battery faster than I could fill it. Okay. Okay, yeah, and just for fun, the stream must be a UDP stream because I'm not getting any CCP packet loss. So, all right. It'll take a minute for my frame rate to return here, but it's amazing. This is only moving 7 kilojoule of heat. When it's connected. Only 7 kilojoule of heat when it's connected. Okay. Yeah, you're not doing much. You are going to be... okay. There's 10 kilojoule trying to bring my oxygen down. Okay. And, oh, I guess all the AC units together, whatever they're putting into the cooling pipe. So, that's good to know. Got a relatively nominal load here. One of the modifications I need to make to my cooling system is adding pipe analyzers and auto-tuning it as stresses change. Yeah, that would make sense. Have a little bit more dynamic. 15 here. We'll go to 20. And just let it warm up. Okay, storm incoming, so we're going to have to wait for the storm before we launch the rocket. Not that, well, we don't need to, but... I'm going to. I want to jump over here, see how we're doing. We can almost make an iron ingot. That's good. What was it, like Hastelloy? Silver, nickel, cobalt. Of course, I don't have any of those represented. Silver aluminous there. Nickel's pretty low. So yeah, if I wanted to make Hastelloy, I would have to go mining. So that's one more outpost we need to make. Okay. I want to check that, but I don't want to check that at the same time. Okay, so I'm not anticipating going too far out, so I might actually be able to get away with... Let's go ahead and close the umbilical there. Okay, set destination. Let's get it into... I don't know how storms and rockets interact. How much time do we have? 6 minutes. I think we can go ahead and launch it. If not, well, I guess I'll have to rebuild it, and I don't want to do that. Whatever. Okay, let's close that. Make sure that we are disconnected. We should be. Pipe charge is going down, so that's good. Let's set that as our destination. We're ready to go. Let's launch. Okay. But you have to mind having to mine? Yeah, real good. Okay, so we are in process of doing a transfer, launch, whatever you want to call it. So I imagine that these may not change. Okay, are you aware that when you code an airlock, you can use the door buttons? Yeah. I'm assuming you would. It's composite door. Probably check. Oh, it must be the mode. Have to do the setting, I would imagine. Mode and setting. That would be phenomenal. I would love that. Oh. We are hang on. We are in orbit at this moment. So our destination code or our location code is 0015. So we are at the route. I was talking about that on Totem's stream today and how habits were formed. Yeah, I've been using the console because I always blow by my airlocks. Oh, as mine is set up? Yeah, I know I can use the door buttons. Okay, so we're still 6-2. So 5-4. 5-5. 5-6. 5-7. 5-8. 5-9. 6-0. 6-1. 6-2, opcode 6, resource type 1. So this also does the same thing. So 62. Opcode is 06. That's child resource And then our resource type is 01. Okay. So now I'm going to go, destination code is going to be 0115. So this doesn't really surprise me, although I'm kind of mad that I can't see this. So I just set destination without transferring to it, so we're just staring at it. You need a cheat sheet for what ISP number means. Yeah. Yeah, that's the stack pointer, so that one's not a problem. The op code is 6 is child survey point. And I also need to take a look at this because this is survey progress, which I'm assuming is going to be 0 if it's maxed out. Okay, so I set the destination, I did not move it. So I'm not really expecting too much from this. 61, 62. Okay, alright. So let's go ahead and move it to the next station here. We are there. Let's go on a rocket trip. Okay. We are in progress. Yes. Yes, meow. And oh, okay, we got a 60. All right. We have some data. 61. 62. Interestingly enough, 62 is always the same. Okay, so we got 54 is 5-4. 55 is 5-4. 56 is 5-4. 57 is 5-4. 58 5-4. 5-4. 60 is 5-4. 61 will probably be 5-4 as well. Okay, 5 and 4. All right. Then we have the density, the richness, the size. That's pretty standard. So if I look in here, if I look at this, my assumption is that okay, so this was opcode 5, which is a child resource site. So I can see the richness. Now let's write some of those numbers down. I'm assuming 4 means ice. What do we at? 61. Okay, we're going to wrap around. Okay, 7, 5, 4, 3, 6, 2, 6, 1, 7, 6, 9, 6, 5, 3, 6, 2. All right, that's enough data points, I think. Hopefully. So if I look at 20 here, we have 2. See, density is going to be 7.5. Okay. That's a good question.
Hunger critical.
That is interesting. So the numbers that I'm getting are 7.5, 4.3, 6.2, 617, unless the 10 is not an indicator. So I'm assuming 4 is equal to ice. 1 is equal to nothing. This doesn't tell me what type of ore there is there. That kind of upsets me. Interesting. Density, richness, and size. That's how I have it written down. So they call this 10. So is a bit shift one way or another. Maybe there's a... Maybe it's a byte, but they're... Maybe it's actually a hash. Okay. Alright. So there's some data there. Not know what I think about that. I'm going to go to destination code is going to be 200115. We'll set the destination. I don't think that's going to change any of the avionics, but we'll check. Doesn't look like anything's changing. Nope. Okay, so 5-4. Resource type 4. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and move our engine over there. While we're flying, we'll go ahead and eat and drink. We'll eat and we'll drink and we'll see what we get for a resource type and all that at this one. So far the stack doesn't look like it proves too handy, especially since we don't know how to read it. I mean, we can kind of read it, not getting the kind of stuff we thought we would. Okay, that'll work. Oh yeah, damage from something I did earlier. Way earlier. Okay, so we're going here. Alright. So 6-2 is 6-1. With no survey progress. Okay. 5-4, 5-5 is nothing. 5-6, I don't think is anything. 5-4 definitely had an entry. Okay. So we're going to have 54 stack pointer coming up here. Boop, bonk. We have 3-4. We have 3-4, which 3 is a resource site. And 4, I'm assuming, indicates the ice. And the value that is listed there on the last scale there, densities, are 754362. So those are the numbers that we had. So if I go here and we look, location info. So density of 7.4362. I'll have to make sense of that at another point. So it's safe to say okay. So the resource type is not what I expected it to be. Okay. So this is already not looking too good. Not looking good. Alright, so I have a feeling we know what this will look like, but we'll go ahead and rock it over there. Where am I going? So the destination code there is going to be 0215. So that makes sense. This right here is actually the parent node of the entire map. So 15. So this is 0115, this is 0215, this is 4015. And I imagine any other mount is going to be based on that. So 41, 42, blah, blah, blah. So this was 0115, and then this is 2, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Things you say to yourself when you look in the mirror. Yep. Okay, so we are on our way over there. 12 seconds, we'll be in there. We've got our destination code here. I'm assuming 6.2 is going to be a 6.1 when we land. We're there. Okay, 5.4 didn't have anything, but I don't know if we were there. 5.5, 5.6. 7, 5.8, 6.2 will probably be 6.1. Index 6.2 will be opcode 1, resource type 6. No. Opcode 6, resource type 1. Six one, okay, yep, alright. That's pretty much a given that 6.2 is always 6.1. And nothing there, okay. Hang on. Shouldn't that have... Oh yeah, because this is a nav point, not a place, so, okay. I could set a destination, then I would have more information about what I'm targeting. But let's go ahead and launch over here. Okay, in a couple seconds, 14 to be exact. Zero 0215, I'm assuming it's 20, but we're not gonna... Six one. 5, 6. It's also 6, 1. That's not good. 5, 7 is 6, 1. 6, 1. I don't like what I'm seeing here. 6, 1. 6, 1. 6, 1. Yeah. And I'm assuming the next one's gonna be 6, 1. 6, 1. Okay, yeah, alright. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. 5, 1. F5, 4. 6, 1. 5, 1. Wait a minute, what? Did I put this in a weird spot? Okay. Oh! Okay. Well, that's good to know. I only have one. Okay, so 6. Okay. So all of them showed up as 6, 1 because I hadn't. They were a child survey, but they weren't surveyed. Okay. Not surveyed. Alright. That's fascinating. But I had a 5, 1 here for that. So I'm assuming... Oh, crap. That doesn't help. Wait. Six one on a child survey site. So that always points to what you're landed on, I guess, or something. I am not getting any more clearer on any of the things that are happening here. So one might be or? Question mark. Okay. That's 2004. Okay, so I'm going to go over to 21. We're going to set our destination here. We are going to launch over there. We're going, and we hopefully will see this number change. So when we get there, I'm imagining that the survey points are going to change. Okay, we're surveying. Scanners are on. We're going. We're going to take a look. So I imagine this will change. So we'll see probably either stack pointer for 52 or 62. 54 or 62. We will see 62. 62 is 6-1. No survey in progress. Okay. 54 is 3-1 without any survey. Oh, wait a minute. 3-1. That's a new one. Okay. All right. Because we went to the site, it's 3-1. So the survey progress doesn't seem to be pulling up any information whatsoever. Unless I've got that typed wrong and... Survey progress here, right? Nope. Looks like I spelled the same. Okay, so that is disappointing. So I'm not seeing any of this information. This is not really helpful. 673997. Well, 93. That's pretty big. 93. It's not even right. Huh. Okay. Alright, so all in all, yeah, you can read the density, richness, and size, but what does that mean? It is a ratio. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's a ratio to 10? Okay. Well, let's play that idea. So if 6.7 is... So 2/3 of the maximum potential density. Right? 6.7? If we play that game, so 2.67 divided by 2 times 3. So 4 is the maximum density. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, look at this. So the size here, 2 to 4, as a ratio, density or a richness of 1 to 2. Size, oh, hang on. Size 2 to 4. Oh, I see. These are all in different orders. That makes it so much easier. So density is 2 to 3, richness is 1 to 2, and size is 2 to 4. Let's pull those numbers. Maybe I just made sense of what this is. So we have, I'm just going to pull it there. We have 6, 7, 3, 9, and 9.3 out of 10. So 10 divided by 6.7, nope, 6.7 divided by 10. It's a ratio. If you multiply that, that's our density. Our density is 3 is the maximum. So 1.8. And we have 0.39 times 2. It's 0.78. I don't know if that's actually correct. Hang on. And then 0.93 times 4 is 3.72. Okay. Alright. So, next thing, let's do our total 0.67 times 1. We know what that number is, plus 2. 2.67. Okay. That was perfect. Then our next number is 1 to 2. So if we take 0.78, just that's our ratio of 10. 1.78. No. 1. No. Okay. That doesn't make any sense either. Because our 1, 2, 2. So, okay, that didn't work. Alright, let's do 2 to 4. So that's 2. Hang on. I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Sorry. 3.9 out of 10 on a 1 to 2 ratio, 1.39. No, that doesn't make any sense either. 9.2, 2 to 4, that's 2, so 0.93 times 2 plus 2 is 3.86. Nope, that doesn't math either. Ironic that the first one worked out. So I don't even know how that works out. We're there. We mapped everything out. These are the numbers. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. There's nothing there. Nothing there. Huh. Okay. Some light just turned off somewhere. That didn't make any sense to me, but okay. So what I see here... 267, that's the actual number that we got there. 1.55. 3.65. Okay, none of these make sense to me. Move, mode, type. Let's see. Alright. That works for me. Interesting. Okay. Alright, so... So these aren't actually all that helpful. I mean, the density's cool, but... Huh. Oh, sorry there, Balin. I was deep in thought here. What's up? The only number worth tracking is density. Number gets to 0. And no, I didn't hit my mute button. I was just lost in thought here. So I've been looking at the stack instructions that come off the avionics, and they are not helpful. Not helpful. So that is very disappointing in the device's atmosphere, so that doesn't help me either. So what I found out is pretty much everything has a child survey node at stack pointer 6.2. And the only thing that I've been able to pull up essentially of value is if it is a ice node or an ore node. It doesn't tell me oxygen, volatiles, anything like that. So the type of data that I'm getting off it doesn't do much. I can pull density and richness and size, but that also I don't know. Nothing there, information-wise. So it doesn't look like the auto... I can make something auto-navigate, but it's not... Like you ran into, it's not very useful. I was hoping resource type would return either like an oxygen node, volatile node, hydrochloric acid, Silanol, something like that, or a hash of multiples, but it does not. I've got returning 4, resource type of 4 for ice, and a resource type of 1 for ore. Maybe there's one for just gas. And the ratio, I haven't been able to make heads or tails of it other than bigger number bigger, more better. But I was disappointed that the resource type does not actually give any information. So, doesn't look like the rocket can make any sensible unless there's... I don't know, is there any kind of information that can be... Scanner's just on, off. That's for the head. Miner, again, is probably the same. Drill condition, but export slot head. I can control motherboard. There's nothing on there. Reagents. It doesn't actually really give any information on it. I'm assuming that's a count of probably how many things are inside. Yeah, you can read it. I can... What the heck? Why not? Reagents, set batch, H display, setting R15. Reagents is reading, I'm assuming 0. Oh, hang on. Let me, bloop, bloop. Reagents 1. At this point, it's 1. What that means, I don't know. Of course, I don't have anything in the rocket whatsoever. This is my scanner that I'm setting up for stuff. My assumption is that it would tell me the total number of things in my cargo base. The ratios do return stuff. Here's a static entry of something that was up there. But the density... Ratio 10 is what they call it in the stack. Returns 67. I just divided everything by 10. So I'm assuming it's 6.7 out of 10. 3.9 out of 10. 9.3 out of 10. So I'm assuming the bigger the number, the better. But I haven't been able to math it down to what it actually is. Because our first number for our density ratio was 67. Our richness ratio was 3.9. And our size ratio was 9.3. But if I go to this location information. 9.3 out of 10. Puts it on the upper end, which does come close, but it's not, didn't math out for me. Maybe I did it wrong. Richness actually mathed out exactly right. That's why I thought it was good. I came up with 2.67. Or not 2.67, sorry, 1.8. And that obviously is not correct. 1.8. Wait a minute. I'm getting all screwed up. Density, right? Density's first. Oh, 2.67. Yeah, that's what I mathed out to. So I'm not sure. The ratios, I'm sure, relatively apples to apples, they're good. Good for providing information, but that's the only, really the only thing. And the good thing is that if I'm at this location, I can read every single one of these if they're surveyed. Might give ratios of what's available in richness 1 to be 3, and you get 2, it would be 5.0 and 50. Yeah, that's... I did the math in 2 different ways. I took that 6.7 and I compared it against 3. I also took that 6.7 and compared it against a range of 1. So between 2 and 3, plus 2, you know, plus the minimum. And that changed the number too. Because 6.7 out of 10 versus 3 would be 1.8. Right? Or thereabouts. Actually, it should be 2. But nothing mathed out right there. Maybe I just don't understand it. The thing that irritates me the most is it doesn't tell me what the composition is. Obviously that data is in the game somewhere. So that's frustrating. Of course, I don't need to read the stack if I set a destination code because I can read the richness right off of that. You also can't get any addresses. The only one thing that I haven't done is actually... I'm going to go ahead and read... We're going to start moving here. We're going to read the entire stack. It's not going to tell me much, I don't think. Could be possible that I'm reading it wrong off the stack too. That is a thought. Okay. I'm assuming these will all basically be 0. Oddly enough, reagents is showing a 1. Oh, well, reagents, yeah, we know reagents is showing a 1 because that's what it was. It might not be a logic that you can retrieve or ice composition. Yeah, that's what it's looking like, which is irritating. Why wouldn't they have that? I mean, it's obvious that that data exists somewhere because you can see it on your map. But I also feel that there's a lot of oversight when it comes to being able to automate stuff. Obviously, we're not able to delete the fields, and that's fine, but it would be nice to be able to read them. Okay, 54. Yep, 54 had a value. 55, 55, 62. And 63, 03. Interesting. 62 or 6303. Let me... Should actually be 0 through 15. This just got weird. This whole thing got weird. What the hell is going on here? Okay. Did I... got some weird... Okay, whatever. 16 to 31. And then let's do 32 to 48. And 47 technically. That's what we're going to name these things. I want to read the stack raw off of those. Oops. Good chat. Import, edit. Okay, we've got this. I want to... Let's make this raw right here. Extract R14 from R15 is 0, 16. Set batch by name, hdisplay, hash 0 to 15. Extract R14 from R15, starting at 16, doing 16 bits. That's going to be 16 to 31. Extract R14 is going to be R15 starting at 32. Go 16. This will show me the raw data anyway. And then we can resume what we were doing. Okay. Is the info you're displaying a number in decimal or hex? Displaying it in decimal. Fortunately, these panels don't don't read out in hex. That would be nice if they did. Because a resource type of 1 would be a binary 0, 1. Resource type of 4 would be 1, 0, 0. So it tells me it's probably bitwise for the resource type. Let's see, we'll see a number here. Boom, boom, boom. That number might be worth figuring out. 62, 62, 9984. Okay, so it's good to know that the... Alright. Let's pull this back out. So starting at 54, and I think we can wrap it around to the... We don't need... Yeah, I'll keep the stack pointer in there just for knowing. We'll put a 5-second sleep timer back in. Edit. We got 80% battery, so we're good. 54, 259. Let me write that down. So 54, where we're at.
Hunger critical.
Just need to eat and drink again already. So I also need to extract data for 62 and 63. see if I can make sense of this. So 54, what we got? 259-1005193. Okay. We'll break that up to see what that relates to. Okay, 62 coming up. Two 6200, and then we've got 7424, and that number actually keeps changing. Oh, 29. 29 resource? That's interesting. Whoopsie. Okay, so let's open up the calculator here. Cover up my chat window here for a bit. Programmer. So decimal 259. We're going to see hex is 109. 01, 0, not 09, jeez. 0103. 9216, so that stack pointer changed. 9216. Okay. And then let's see, for the rest here, 10051 in, whoops, 10051 in decimal represents 2743 hex. But if I go to hex, no, that's D word, you know, byte. Hex, and I put in 43, that is decimal 67. If I put in 27, that is decimal 39. And if I put in, just for fun, decimal 93, it should be 5D hex. 5 delta hex. 93. Which is what, let's see, 3.9, 6.7, 3.9, 6.7, and 9.3. So, it does look like I'm pulling the data out of the stack properly. 0103 is a resource site type 1 for this particular place. Okay, so I am, that's reassuring that I'm actually pulling the data off the stack properly. However, eat, drink, be merry. Doesn't change the fact that I'm not getting useful data. Super useful. I mean, the ratios, if you compared it on a scale of 10, that's good. Dang. Okay. All right. All right. So just curious, actually, if I pull this up in calculator. decimal 7424 is a hex value of 1D00. (9216) is 2400. So that stack pointer is a bunch of bull. Okay. Okay. I'm disappointed. So this resource type is useless. It's gas or an ore. That's all it tells you. Of course, we can read the density, richness, size. That's no problem. Total quantity. There's that also. Quantity on the device. Quantity and reagents, I'm assuming, are basically the same. Okay, air mode. Mode we set. That's no problem. Open. Huh. The scanner doesn't tell us anything. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Doesn't look like we can pull much data. Scanner head, I don't think does anything here. Oh, that's a scanner. Scanner head, just for fun. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay. What about the celestial tracker? Okay, no, that doesn't help. I didn't really think that would actually do much, but rocket manufactory. What can you build? Let's look. Axis build avionics. Launch mode. Rocket atmospherics. Filtration and gas collector. Okay. Seems you might need to ask the Discord on it. It seems to be bad. Yeah. I'm looking at it, unless there's some hidden information, it doesn't look like it's possible. At least not in current state. And I don't know if they plan to change that or they want to keep it completely manual, as so to speak. I mean, you could still make a case where you have a rocket. A scanning rocket is not out of the question. You could have it walk the tree pretty easily and determine where it needs to go. Actually, here's... I wonder if I could set a destination here and see... Yeah, let's set the destination there, even though we aren't launching it. We wanted to see survey sites, I think is the logic. Avionics. Is it charted, discovered sites? Number of sites that have been discovered. Oh, that's supposed to be sites. 53 actually showed something. Sites. Or maybe that was just junk. Sites. Survey itself doesn't help. But sites might. So your assumption is that should be 9. So I have that targeted to the one thing. I should see like 2. Okay, 9. Okay, 9 sites discovered. Okay, I do have 9 sites discovered, but survey. Oh, I finally refueled. Great. Mine quantity, total quantities. Okay, let's look at that. Richness. Oh, that's actually going to overwrite. Never mind. Huh. But there is a way that you could select the destination code and read the data off of there. I'm assuming if I checked the... Yeah, so I haven't actually done any surveying here. Let me go ahead and pop this out. Edit. Survey mode, discover sites, that sort of thing. Jump main. And load our 15 D0 with our richness. Set batch H display hash richness. We actually want that down here. Setting our 15, load our 15 D0, our density. Set at H display hash density. Setting our 15, load our 15 D0 size. We'll do that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of the stack. We aren't going to be doing anything with the stack at the moment. But I have that listed. Richness. Density. And then size. Okay, so richness, density, and size of the target location. I can pull information on what it actually is. So we know this hasn't been surveyed. But I could go here. This one has been surveyed. I set the destination. And this reads the richness, density, and size. So I don't actually have to read the stack to pull that information. And survey should be 0 to 10 or 0 to 1000%. Yes. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Reagents are now 0.5. I don't know what 0.5 reagents are. That's kind of interesting. So All right. So an auto-scanning rocket is not necessarily out of the question. Auto-mining is a possibility, but you would have to... I'm going to use this as an example. Let's say I wanted to go mine all this out. I would probably add this destination code to the stack, that one, that one, that one, and have it cycle through. If I wanted to get it all the way down to 0, whatever, just mine them out, I would probably have it launch back and forth, doing all this automatic stuff and walking through the stack, going there. That's my thought. That is my thought. Okay, so there's no way so far that I've been able to detect what is actually in the vapor. You know what, just for funsies, let's I think I know what this is going to read, but let's try it anyway, right? If I load R15 D0 ratio oxygen, I'm assuming
Hunger caution.
I should see my 33% ratio. That's going to be my guess. 0 ratio, oxygen 0. Pipe analyzer. My auto miner, I only select one mining site and then have it mine it all out till some event happens. Yeah, that's kind of the way that it's playing out here. So ratio oxygen. That actually... That's what I shipped it up with. These are all methane. Okay. Actually kind of surprised that that's... Maybe that's for like rocket tanks or something. I don't know. Load R15 D0 ratio methane. Each display hash ratio methane. Setting R15. Let's go ahead and grab this. Export. Do that. Okay, 0.333. 33333. Did I spell something wrong? So methane pulled up my methane ratio. 0.333. Wait, hold, wait, whoa, 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 oh, oh, oh. Hang on. Maybe? Okay, hang on. Ooh, 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 ooh. Has anything else got a different composition? No, dang it. Okay, let's pull up carbon dioxide. I may have just stumbled upon it. For gases, anyway. Carbon dioxide? D0 ratio, carbon dioxide. Subbatch H display. Setting R15. Okay. If this is what it is, I'm going to be mad because that's stupid. That is stupid. Okay. There you go. So, this ratio, at least for the gases, will actually pull up the ratio here. So the methane ended up being 0.3 because it's 8 mole out of 24 mole. So yeah. And then the carbon came up to just shy of 66%. So that's cool. That is... that's interesting. Not sure what I think about that. So so I bet you the reagents that we were reading may have been a ratio or a concentration. I guess reagents 0. Hang on. Okay. If I go here and this is 0.5. Here's 0.5. And I bet this next one is going to be 1. So if I go here and set destination, 1. Okay. All right. That's a little closer. So then the next question. So we can read gases, so we can read what our ice gas is. We can read our concentration of the agent. Quantity. Well, let's read quantity. What's quantity, right? Load R15D0 quantity. Set batch H display. Quantity. I mean, since we're trying things out, we might as well try it out. Export. Drop that down. Okay, we already know what this is. Quantity. Quantity. Quantity 8. Okay. What's that mean? Quantity is 8. Application info. Yes, so in this case, reagents is ore composition for sure. We have 8. Let's go over here, set destination. Quantity 4. Silicon? 6. Is this... Okay, is quantity... This is gold, but I haven't even discovered it. Quantity 8. Okay, that didn't help. Okay. Or is it just because it's... undiscovered? Quantity 5. Okay, now I'm all confused now. Okay, it's 5. 2. Oh my god. Get here. Get here. Get here. Hello. I'm not understanding what quantity is. Try a gas. Let's go ahead and try a gas. Here's a volatile vapor type. Quantity 71. 71. Okay, let's try a different of the same type of ice.
Hunger critical.
76? 76? 71, 76, 72. Uh, 39. Okay, that's okay. Okay, quantity means something, but what it means, nobody knows. Interesting. So reagents is the composition. Ratio is the gas, can help you with the gas competition. So gases might actually be able to be auto-mined. Progress of the rocket on the next node of the map. Okay. Acceleration, destination code, reference ID, auto shut off, mass drive, third time to destination, burn time, auto land, flight control rule, reentry, apex, ratios, discovered, current code, richness, size, mined quantity, total quantity. Total moles on gas. Yeah, let's check that. Let's check that. I love how everything's not necessarily in order. That's kind of funny. Total quantity, total mole. Does it actually show that? Total mole, total mole, total mole, total mole. I probably glanced straight over it. Total moles, yeah, total moles. All right. Can I? Of course I can. All right. Oops. Oop. Hello. Hello. Total moles. Okay. $24. Yep. Okay. So that worked as we expected it to. Quantity. I almost wonder if quantity. Well, okay. I wondered. I no longer wonder if it was some kind of hash of what's in there. But obviously this is smaller. I wonder. Hang on. Let me run a number here, just for funsies. If I take 2.2, multiply it with 1.88, and multiply it with 295, I get 12. Okay, so that's not that. On an ore, yeah, let's go ahead and check that out. Let's go here, set destination. Total moles would be 0. Quantity 8. Quantity 8. I haven't surveyed this. So I have a quantity of 4, density of -1. So I have never surveyed it, so reagents 0. I don't know the composition. I don't know the density. So that makes sense. This one that I do have information on is copper of 0.5. Quantity 4. What does quantity 4 indicate? Which is less than this. This was 8. This is 4. LS. Oh, God. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to brainstorm it in a bit here. The ad is coming up. Hmm. You know what? Just for fun. Just for funsies. Let's pull name hash. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the rocket. But with some of the other stuff that's gone on, can't make that assumption anymore. Load batch R15 D0 name hash. Set batch H display hash name hash setting R15. So quite frankly, I'm assuming name hash. Okay, we got negative 661. Negative 666. Negative 661. Okay. Oh, actually, I got copper. Okay, it's not that. It's not that. It's not that. Okay, so I'm assuming that is indeed the rocket. So, all right. Well, there's an advertisement coming up, so we'll all take a break here and maybe think of something else. So, be back in a bit. Alrighty, welcome back. So, we figured out there is okay. Eat, drink, and prepare. There is the possibility of auto-navigating and auto-harvesting gases with a little bit of intelligence. The possibility does exist because you can check ratios and total moles and all that fun stuff. So that's promising. When it comes to ores, it's a whole different animal. Whole different animal. I'm not dragging the seeds, dang it. I'm harvesting them. Clicking. There we go. Okay. Let's drag that in there, shove that in there, do that. We can see the composition ratio of a node. We can't yet figure out what the node is made of. Okay. I don't think this is necessary. Yeah, that's not necessary at all. Actually, I don't even need that open. Okay. I probably should use can. I need to actually put water into that system too. That being said, can we do down here? So the name hash, I'm assuming temp rocket avionics. I'm assuming that the edit set batch by name H display hash temp is going to be setting is going to be hash of rocket avionics. Assuming that number should match. Yep. Okay, so that is pulling the name hash off of the avionics kit. Type the name hash in the Stationpedia name bar to see if something comes up. You know what? Actually, let's try that. Negative 661. Well, we'll start with that. Negative 661. Okay, it doesn't look like the name hash will actually show up. Reverse. But yeah, so this is hash of Rocket Avionics, and that's the name hash. So that actually did pull that up. Kind of exactly how you expect it to. Okay. Target node type we know is not that. Entry generated launch pad, low orbit hub, this, that. Returns the node type as an integer for the location of the rocket, and we know that. And actually, I've already have that, so we can double check this. Node type. Current node type. So node type I think is actually okay, you're set here with a node type of node type of 3. Node type of 3 is a generated node. Node type of 0 is none for current or target. Current. Hang on. Maybe I'm actually not pulling up. Hang on. Edit. Do I not have node type? I just have current node type. Current node type. I don't have node type up. Oh, because it's not a thing. Target node type, right? Target node type, yeah. Okay. Alright, let's grab that and we'll put that in there just for added node type. Current node type. Target node type. Okay, yep, so that makes sense. Okay. Okay, I see. So if we need to type in the whole thing, so let's do negative 661029081. Okay. Not 0990. Negative 661029081. Nothing. 213-191-6219. Dirty ore. Okay, cool. It's good to know, but a name hash doesn't work that way. Okay. All right. Current code. Oh, that's the yeah, location code. Richness, density, survey, ratio, blah 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 blah. So it doesn't look. Okay. I still feel like the quantity has some kind of value. Quantity of 4. Copper's 4. Yeah, let's go ahead and go over here. We'll make a transfer over here. Have it auto scan. We'll see what goes on here. Density. Okay. Survey. 0. Okay, once it gets there, we are here in 3, 2, 1. So I should start surveying. Reagents are 0 because we don't know. Density is -1 because we don't know. Quantity, I feel like that means something in a way. Okay, so we have some information here. Quantities 4. Again for copper. So maybe there is something there. This is going to be quantity of 8. So that kind of makes me wonder if maybe it depends on what type of... This is sparse orbiting asteroids. Let's take a look here. If copper is 4, iron is 8. And if we look over here, this one is gold and silicon. I think I saw 4 and 8. If I go here, silicon rocks. Silicon is 6. This is also silicon, but we don't know anything about it. That's 3, though. Or is it because we don't know anything about it? That's also gold rocks here. 8. And gold rocks here. It's 5. Gold rocks here. 3. So I feel like quantity means something, but it also doesn't mean anything. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so we'll look at this. We should see like a 6, 6.3, 2.5. Quantity 5. Okay, so quantity is now up to 5. Wait, I think I know. Quantity might be ore gained per mining cycle, because ore mining is really slow, like 4 to 8 per cycle. Ice is very high. 18 to... Okay, alright. That's possible, and this went up. So there's something there. So ore gained per cycle. And I'm assuming after I hit 900, 1,000, I'll probably see another jump in quantity. Or something along that line. So, okay, so quantity tells you how much you get out of something. It would go up because of the bonus, yes. And we did see that it went up because because this was 4 when I got here. And now as the survey goes on, it has increased to 5. So, okay, so quantity tells us how much we get per cycle. So that's kind of a handy information. Still doesn't tell us what's here, but we know it's a 0.5 composition. So theoretically speaking, with this number, we would know we would get 2.5 ore per thing. Okay, yeah, and at 1080. Okay. 10. Yeah. And we go here, 25% mining boost. Of course, it was 10%. Maybe it didn't cross. Maybe it's clamped 5.8 or something like that. Okay. So we have come up with some information. So we can definitely read gases and potentially the quantity. We can read the moles, ratios. So I think gas mining could be pretty close to fully automated with some magic, because, yeah. But that being said, that's not a problem. Prefab hash. You know what? Why not? Right? Instead of name hash, we'll do prefab hash. We'll go ahead and... Well, just for good measure, we'll pull out the avionics prefab hash, which is right there, but whatever. We're going to throw the name in. Prefab hash. Eight oh eight 389 066. Okay, yep. That's kind of what I thought that was going to be. Pretty sure that was going to be that. Okay, gas mining, you're after one gas as the main gas, you're going for it. So set the limit if your ratio is above 50%. Go there and scan. If not, move on. Yeah. Yep. There's definitely, the gas is easy enough to go. This is mass, dry mass. That should be of the rocket. Progress is location based. Charted nav points. So nav points is the number of nav points at the rockets. Charted is the number of charted nav points. So you can tell if you've made it there or not. Then discover. Okay, I'm assuming, there's something there. Discover. And we've figured that out with that. Mined quantity, total quantity, size, we can read that. Density, stack size. Dang. If you're ore mining, it's say quantity. If above 5, then scan, because if lower than 5, it's too slow and the bonus won't be worth it. Yeah. Yeah, scanning definitely 100% easily doable. Gas mining automation seems to be pretty doable with what we have here. Ore mining automatic doesn't seem to be possible because you can't pull any information on what is actually there. You can get all the stats about it, but you don't know what you're mining. automatically speaking. Obviously, if you send it there, you know what you're mining, but that's kind of irritating. Mode, chart deploy. All right. This doesn't do any good. Because basically all you know is if it's gas or if it's ore. Progress, my assumption on progress, and we can check that out, is when you're going in between two nodes. I think it's basically the delta V. But we'll double check that. We have had some crazy things pop out of here, so why not? Let's pull progress out. How much? I got plenty of room here. So let's go ahead and load from our 15D0 progress. H display hash progress setting R15. Slap that in there. Progress 0%. And that might be overall. So at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and call the rocket home because it's getting close to quitting time anyway. And hopefully I got enough fuel. If not, we're going to have a spectacular problem here. Set destination. Current node type is 3. Target node type is 4, which is launch platform. None of that matters. Okay. So we go here and we... Boom. Looks pretty feasible. So our progress is 0.4%, 0.5%. So that's definitely overall. Because we are now at the next node. Oh, no. Okay, that is okay. 0 to 1 percentage. Okay. Current step. So ore node to the resource cloud to the dust cloud. Okay, yep, all right. So this is current progress. Yep, each point. Not the whole journey, just a single point. So it's halfway to the to orbit from the dust cloud. And boom. Current node type 1, which is fixed, and target node type is going down. Yeah, okay, so we are 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, or 8%, 10%. Yeah, we're coming down. So good to know. Fuel time, 622. I don't know why that keeps going up. Oh, that's probably not burning that much fuel. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's do that. I think we'll land quicker. Maybe not. It didn't actually make a difference. Didn't make a difference. That's all right. Okay. So that's good. We know how close it is. 40% to the ground. So we know how to gas mine. We've got 2 point... we got 4 kilomoles of, or 3 kilomoles of volatiles, which is not going to be enough to fill this rocket up. Okay. Wonder what the ratio X would be for a discover point. Are you talking the not the actual survey sites, but the resource node? Yeah, okay, not the site. Yeah, good information. Oh, I better not set destination while it's doing its thing. We'll check that though. Ratio volatile. Nope, not volatile. Methane. Okay, 95% of the way down. It's definitely a distance thing. Yeah, old habits, volatiles. Okay. Okay, we're well past. Boop. There we are. Okay, so now that we are here, we'll go ahead and set destination here. So this should read current node types 4, target node type 2, volatile methane, ratio methane. Okay. Ratio oxygen. Ratio carbon dioxide. Okay, so it doesn't look like that returns any ratio information, so we don't know what it is. If we go here, yeah, there's our carbon dioxide of almost 60%. Almost 60%. Yeah, because it's 14 mole over 10 mole of other stuff, so. Okay. That's disappointing that you can't read this for any information. You have to read the nodes here. But we can do with the ice. Alright. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I will write down my notes here for what I'm going to do for next episode. I'm going to add more fuel. I'm not going to change the fuel yet. I'm going to add a battery or so. I'm going to redesign this a little bit. And then I want to auto survey or auto scan. So that's tomorrow. I'm going to make an auto scanner. I want to have it try walking the tree, coming home when it's supposed to. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll be 1. That would be 2. Yeah, so I'll have it work the tree a little bit. Zero 1 0 2. This is 0 1 0 2 0 3. So static entries are looking. Let's see. This will be. Oh, we don't know. We have to chart it first. Can we even set destination? No, you can't even set destination. You have to chart stuff first. Not a problem. Okay. So we'll do a little bit. So this is going to be the home node, 0 1 5, 0 1 1 5, and then your 2 whatevers, 0 1s 1 5. And down here, 0 2 1 5. This will be 1 2 3 4. 0 2 1 5, and then all the 20 pluses here. This is 0 1. So we're going to have a 0 2, 0 1, and it looks like. Huh. Pretty predictable. And then our 20 pluses. Yep, 20 pluses. Okay, there we are. Okay, it's making sense. I see the pattern here. All the resource nodes, the address is 20 to probably 32 or whatever. Starts at 20.
Hunger
That I've
caution.
noticed. Does depend on what you delete, but I think if I launched something here, the next one that would pop up would be 20. So walking the tree won't be a big difficulty. My assumption is if the dynamic resource nodes start at 20, that means statically it could potentially go up to 19 as destination points. I don't know for sure, but the rocket launch mounts seem to start at 40. And that would kind of concur with up to 20 nav points. Or not necessarily nav points, but resource sites, whatever. And then 20, yeah, okay, all right. Okay, I think we got an idea. Also, need to make a harm trip. 2 outposts. And get some mining stuff done. Okay. And H2O to greenhouse. Because we're running low there. Okay, so we got 3 things. So if you have 12 sites or more, the game will hard crash. Learn that the hard way. Okay, well, that's good to know. Let's see, that's empty, empty, empty. I'm assuming these are empties. Yep, these are empties. Good. And you are... Let's do that. This is cladding. Okay. Don't really need all those canisters, but there we go. Okay. Awesome. Looking good. Oh, liquid hydrochloric acid in the pipe. Why not? Why not? Okay. So there we go. I think we learned a lot today. Didn't get to the fun and exciting stuff because I actually thought the stack was going to be a little bit more useful. It turned out to be about as useful as well, you know, use your imagination. Not very useful. But whatever. Maybe eventually they'll add some robustness to that. But we'll make a auto scanner and have it try to smartly, without getting lost, do an auto scan. Maybe intelligently too. Maybe it can make a couple trips. pull you down here. You need to go in there. You go there. You go there. We'll do that. Drop that there. Okay, that works. That works. So, yep, learn some things today. So tomorrow we will apply them a little further. Get the auto scanner running, and
Temperature
maybe
low.
consider an auto gas miner, because we at least know that can happen. So anyway, with that, I would like to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you next time.